Is Chimaev a closet champion? And if he's not, what's he need to do to become a closet champion? My understanding of this term is you've got a champion that doesn't fight. And then we always want to get into why. Well, is he sick? Is he injured? Is there visa issues? We always want to get into why, and you're not wrong to do that, but it doesn't change the fact, are you competing or aren't you? Are you defending or aren't you? Are you taking on the top guys or aren't you? And I don't put this at the feet of Chimaev because I don't have enough information. I am just freshened up enough on this sport to remember a time called 2025. Chimaev becomes the champion of the world in a very dominant fashion over Dricus du Plessis. Imanov gets in the mix. RDR suffers an upset. Before that happens, Bo Nickel suffered an upset. It looks like it's going to be Imanov. Nobody disagreed. Not the UFC, not Imanov, not Chimaev. And a little bit of time went by, and there was no announcement. And not only was there not an announcement that Chimaev was going to fight Imanov, there wasn't an announcement that Chimaev was going to fight somebody else or Imanov was going to fight somebody else. Now we're left in a guy's word. And the words of Chimaev are, I want Pierre and I want it at 205 pounds. Now, how am I supposed to interpret that? We've got a champion who is not fighting. We've got a champion who's made his desire to fight very clear, but it's outside of his weight class. So it comes back to the idea, are you a closet champion? You don't have to be a closet fighter to be a closet champion, by the way, right? You could be an active fighter. You could be wanting to get out there and willing to get out there, but if you want to do it somewhere where you're not defending the belt, it reverts you back to you're not defending the belt. And I got to tell you, as a viewer, I'm just left with a tremendous amount of lack of clarity. I think Chimaev's done a very good job of putting a finger in Pierre's chest. He's done such a good job that it kind of caught Pierre off guard. Like, if anybody doesn't deserve to be called out, it's the guy that's willing to cover the spread at 3 different weight classes. It's the guy that did cover the spread at 185, did cover it at 205, and now would like to cover it at heavyweight. Like, it's very difficult to call out Pereira and then act as though he's scared to face you. But Pierre's in a colossally difficult situation, which is it appears that he's got his hands full in an opportunity going up a weight class while he's being challenged by a guy down a weight class. But that same type of energy that Chimaev is putting on Pereira, that same kind of questioning, that same kind of doubt, that same kind of, that game of bluff, are you going to flinch, is the exact same energy that Strickland is putting on Chimaev. They parallel perfectly. Like, it would be very difficult to be in Chimaev's spot and claim victory over Pereira. Playground rules, I challenged you, you didn't show up after the bell, therefore I win. It's very difficult to do when simultaneously you've got not one but two opponents, neither of which you're talking about, neither of which appear to be getting closer. And I'm trying to put myself in the position of a middleweight that needs a title shot. In my career, I was in a position where I was a middleweight and I needed a title shot and the champion wouldn't give it to me. And it got weird. We went in all sorts of directions. I spilled off in competitiveness from him. I spilled over to family, which you're not supposed to touch. I spilled over into an entire country as a way of trying to get this one thing, which is just a bout agreement, which per the rankings, I'd earned. All right, so what do you do if you're in Strickland's spot? I mean, at some point, do you move on? The moment Strickland moves on, the moment Strickland calls out the winner of fill in the blank, the moment he does that, he's not going to get the title shot. The moment a top contender flinches and calls out someone else, it's not like they're going to get surprised and go, hey, listen, we know that you called out this guy, but we think you've done better than that. We think that you deserve the title shot. It doesn't work that way. So now you got to stand your ground. When you stand your ground, the days turn into weeks, the weeks turn into months, and all of a sudden you get a guy like Chael sitting over here accusing you of being a closet champion. It may or may not be your fault. I don't know what's going on with Chimaev. I never know what's going on with Chimaev. Chimaev used to be one of the best at communicating with us. Chimaev had a medical condition that almost took his life. He kept us all involved in that. He put out pictures of himself on a respirator. Like Chimaev's not afraid to share. But we haven't had anything getting shared. We got this visa issue. This rumor never seems to not follow him around about this visa issue. But it doesn't change if you're a closet champion or not. Like, the reason behind it does not matter in terms of fitting the definition of being a champion who is not defending your belt. And now, as a champion whose voice does matter, that voice is calling for fights, really hard fights, compelling fights, at a different weight class, which again would involve a champion not defending his belt. So if Chimaev's not a closet champion, how long until he is. How many dates have to go by? How many times are we going to see number one contenders matches where that number one contender is not given that shot? If we extend the amount of time that we've already gone between Chimaev and his last fight, at some point, you got to take him at his word. If he wants to move to 205 pounds, I don't begrudge him at all. Just vacate at 185, and then we can begin that conversation. And we don't appear to be at that point. So if we're not at that point, then we must be at the point of accepting a fight. 2 meaningful challenges. Imanov, Strickland. Strickland beat Imanov. It would appear that it's Strickland. Why isn't that confirmed?